I'm back with another story snippet for you. In my last story snippet, some time ago, I was talking about how I got into studying commerce and some of the challenges that I faced, such as having to read massive, great big braille tables, and where I had to crawl around the floor to read them, and tactile diagrams and such, and special exam conditions. Continuing on from that post, in my second year of commerce, I got to do a unit called Introductory Business Law. And this was really to teach accountants about the fundamentals of law when you're dealing with business. You know, we learnt about very basic contract terms and conditions of contracts, and we learnt about the Trade Practices Act, and we learnt about various things to do with business and law, and I absolutely loved it. We had this. It was so refreshing after the dryness of commerce. We had this delightful lecturer called Charles Rowland, and he was one of the best storytellers I have ever come across. And instead of just taking a case and going, now these are the facts, here's the law, learn it, he would tell the case facts like stories, and he would just bring them to life. It was amazing. So I'd just sit there with my honey and macadamia bar and my coffee, and I just loved it. It was great. And it was then that I remembered what my aunt had said about, you've got a good brain, why don't you study law? So I approached the dean of the law school and I said to him, look, I'm studying in my second year of commerce. I've been getting a credit average all the way through. I want to pick up law. And he wasn't keen. But I wasn't leaving his office until he said yes. And so eventually he said yes. Yes, you can study law. Yes, you can take a slightly lighter workload to do the combined degree, because I wanted to just switch from commerce to law. And he said, no, it's better to do a combined degree. So I did that. And so in my third year of commerce, I started my first year of law. Now, I was saying in my previous video how commerce was all numbers and diagrams, and economics was all numbers and diagrams. Of course, now law was all text, and some of the text, a lot of it came out of textbooks, some of it came out of library books, and I think people who highlight text in library books should be shot because it makes them very hard to scan, which I'll talk about a little bit later, and convert into accessible form. And some of the text came out of things called bricks, which were photocopies of library books and textbooks which had been reduced and turned sideways to fit on 2 pages onto one. And so document scanners were only in their very early stages at that point. And so I used to get all my stuff read onto cassette tape, because it would, as I said in the previous video, Braille, you can only fit 32 characters along a line and 25 lines on a page. So you wouldn't want to Braille an 800-page law textbook or a 1,000-page law textbook into Braille. It would just be massive. So I used to buy cassette tapes, for those who remember cassette tapes, in boxes of 100. I'd get the tapes in one box and then I'd get the cases in another. And Dad used to photocopy chapters of the books that I needed and break up the bricks, and we would farm them out to volunteers who would read them onto tape for me. And another advantage of listening to stuff on tape was I was able to speed it up, and I could listen to text. I could listen to a tape at double its normal speed. I can't do it now, but I developed that skill over time, so I could listen to a lot of stuff more quickly, particularly if the person was reading a little bit slow. So in my next snippet, I will tell you a little bit more about law, studying law, and about how I graduated from my degrees.